It's called multidimensional. So, when I'm drawing, I can make noise. Now, I like the kinetics of drawing because the kinetics of drawing show up. The energy shows up, like when you're doing things like moving water or moving anything. If you're drawing or painting a horse running down the road, you want to have it moving. How do you do that? It's one thing to get your binary of perspective, you know, your foreground, your midground, and your background, but how do you get movement? Well, this is one way I get it, by actually moving. That's the best way to do it. Now there's other multidimensional aspects about a drawing on canvas, and that's also has to do with sound. So in this segment, I want to talk about movement and sound in drawing on canvas, especially because of that thread. That thread's really powerful. Not only do I see the peaks and valleys and have a mechanical screen effect show up, but I can also make noise with it. There's a guy that comes around. I talk to him all the time. One day I was demonstrating something like this to him. He's a master chef. And he says to me, "Yes, I know what you are talking about. I can hear when the chicken is done." Yeah, he gets it. See? He can hear it. Yeah, you smell it and all that. I see art, but do I hear it? Now, I blew my ears out. And I developed a real bad case of tinnitus right there with the bagpipers. Of course, I was predisposed by rock and roll. So when I reemerged as a drummer, I had scaled down and was working with bells and whistles. And I was accompanying the antics of a mime, a juggler, tap dancer, magician, performer on the street. It was real fun. These little kids would come by. So this guy's doing his antics, and I'm doing sound effects for him, and I'm cueing off of my eyes, not my ears. I'm not in a rock band, and with my eyes closed and listening to the music, I'm watching a guy jump around in front of a bunch of kids. Some of these mothers would drag these kids away in agony. Oh, it was terrible. Anyway, they'd never seen anything like it, some of these little kids, and then the moms would drag them away. It was a bad scene. Because they'd never seen a couple of guys doing this kind of thing, and I'd never done it, and I could hear when the chicken was done. And that's what's really cool about being multidimensional. So not only do I have my cues from my ear, so if I can apply that to music, I can apply it to art in a similar fashion. I can hear colors, and I can see sounds. If I can see sounds by being accompanying a little drums and bells and whistles for a guy who's twirling hats and canes and jumping through canes and flipping coins around in his hand and everything, and I'm doing all the sound effects for these, and it's just great because, well, I guess there's all these circuits in my brain that are connecting in a really interesting fashion. And then I actually developed a new grip for the drumsticks, which I'll go into later. That's a whole segment, fascinating. But this multidimensional is really important in art, and I'll go into it with the abstract art and mirrors and all that also. We're going to do multi-dimensions. Why not? We can. Park wave, E equals MC. I'm not scared of exploring, that's for sure.